You guys, I want to show you one of the things that I like about traveling is getting money, like money of those different countries. That I have a $1 here, but I want to show you Russian money. Balage. So this is 500 rubles. So their biggest denomination, I think, is 2,000. Yes. So this is their 500. I think it's worth a lot. Okay, I don't know how much it's worth in Ugandan thing, but yeah. And I fear that now many countries are getting into that thing of where like cashless economies. So I fear that we will not be able to see much of this. So if you're like me and you're fascinated about money, travel now when people are still using cash. But yeah, 500 rubles from Russia, Russian money. So before I can even continue with my Moscow tales, if you are wondering where my new home this time around, where I am, this is a nice hotel in Lubowa. For those of you along Entebbe Road and you're looking for somewhere to spend your Sunday, this could be the perfect place to you. I like it because it has a homely feel to it. So probably I'll be showing you around, but I love the homely feel to it. They have very nice food, drinks as well. It's very good. They have a swimming pool, so you can bring your friends, your kids, and spend your time here because it's called the Halo Hotel in Loboa. So, guys, Moscow, Moscow, Moscow. First of all, that is the reason why no one was connecting to Moscow with me. Most people were just going to all these different countries, but no one was continuing to Moscow. And of course, we've all seen the news, we've heard everything. We know what Russia is represented as in the movies that we watch, the mafias and everything there in between. So it's not a very common destination for people from Africa. I must put it there. At least I didn't, even like where I come from, I haven't met very many people who have actually visited Moscow. It's not a very common destination. So it was always something, that fascinated people. Even when I came back and told them, hey, I was here, everyone was wondering why, how, where, when, who. So yeah. Later, I believe it was 4 hours, could have been 3.5 or about 4 hours from Istanbul, we arrived in Moscow. Guys, the landing in Moscow, that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. The buildings, the whole scenery is just breathtaking. So I must put there, like, I took a moment to be like, whoa, whoa, where, oh my goodness. So heavenly. So I got to Moscow, and then Moscow, I had to get to the immigration for that final stamp into the country. And I remember when I got there, the lady on the till kept on making calls, Uganda, what. I'm like, wait, I hope this is not a sign that they're going to take me back. Like, hey, I have nothing. You can check me. I'm good to go. I'm just a girl trying to see Europe, trying to see what's out there in the world. And then I got my stamp, and guys, in that moment, I had arrived in Europe. I went ahead, got to the baggage claim. I got my bags. Everything was intact, just like I prayed. God was good. And then I entered into the country. Just by entering, like the first step, I had never felt that cold. Guys, in Uganda, we have a place called Kisoro. This place is always cold. It's like within 15 degrees, mostly at night, 17, and that is the coldest I had ever felt. Guys, when I got to Moscow, it was raining. It was cold. I'm talking about 10 degrees. Yes, upon arrival there and then. So, of course, I went ahead. We got a cab and then I went to the hotel. And of course, Moscow, I was able to see various things. I'll talk about some of the major things that I got to experience. Number one, the food. What really shocked me about Moscow and the food is that it's more like really everything you would find anywhere except for the local foods that we have here in Uganda. For example, the matoke or the bananas, the way they are prepared here, no, of course, and I wasn't expecting to find it. But when you talk about things like sweet potatoes, when you talk about things like Irish potatoes, rice, spaghetti, pastas, and all those things are actually there. Like that's not a place you can travel to and fail to familiarize with what you can actually eat, because everything you have seen around, you have tasted around. So that's really what I liked about it. And then also the food, of course, in the restaurants, it's affordable and expensive depending on where you go, but they have very many food hubs, food points where you can go and get a little bit of everything. And also, that is the other thing that surprised me about Moscow. There's almost all food except African. So, for those of you who are looking at opportunities that you can actually do in Moscow, African food could be a good selling point. I only saw one place that sold African food, and that was the Nigerians. There's a point where you go and you can actually taste Nigerian food, but other parts of Africa have not been well represented in Moscow, especially Uganda. We have very many delicacies. So I kind of missed home because of the food. And also, when you buy your own food, it's much cheaper, but the taste is way different. Like, it's tasteless. I'm sorry to say, but I did not enjoy the food at all. I remember buying some meat from the supermarket, and there was nothing, no aroma of meat. Like I couldn't tell which meat I'm even eating, other than the fact that I had picked it out, so I knew what I had cooked. But its taste and the aroma of it all, that one really lacked. The other thing, and probably the most thing that fascinated me about Moscow, the transport. They have numerous means of transport. So that means that that could be probably the cheapest thing there, because there's something for everyone. Even within the cabs, they have the Benz, they have the BMW, they have the high end, and then they have the medium end or budget ends, the cabs. So they are not too expensive, not too cheap. They're just there. They are really affordable, depending again on your pocket. But on that, they have buses. Yes, the normal buses, and then they have metro, the underground trains. So because of the so many options you have, you find that actually there's something for everyone. So I liked the metro, guys. Like that one, I could go on it. Though apparently, if you're not well conversant, it's very easy for you to get lost on that train because it has very many stop points. But the good thing that those metros have a stop near everything. There is a metro near every point. If you can find your way, you can always find a metro to the place where you are going. So I liked that very much. Now, the other thing, the people. The people are not so friendly. Yes, they are not so friendly. And while if you are coming from Africa, that could be such a stretch for you because in Africa, we are so communal. And I want to believe this goes beyond Uganda. We are so communal that we are constantly like in each other's business. These people do not care. Like you could actually be stranded and no one will even notice you. People just walk right past you. Even when you probably stop them and you're like, hey, how do I go about this? It could take you a minute to get someone who will willingly help you. So that is the other thing. The people are not so friendly. Everyone minds their business, but they love working out. At least I noticed that. They love working out. And then also, they are the kinds of people who smoke a lot. Yes. I don't know if it's because it's a cold country, and that could be the reason, but they smoke quite a bit. Almost everywhere you're going, you're seeing someone smoke. And it was really weird to me because I saw most women smoking. Where I come from, I do not see that often. So in this country, most of them are continuously smoking and drinking as well. All their hookups, all their, okay, not hookups, but wherever they go, you'll find that there are bars everywhere. So they drink quite a bit. The other thing that I think fascinated me about Moscow is how green it is. That country, that part of that country has forests. There's not only trees, but forests all through the countries. They have different parks where people can go and sit and chill. I love that. In my country, I see less and less of trees. Each day that I wake up, there's a tree down that was up yesterday and today does not exist. So for me, I like that even as we think about these Western countries in a certain way, that actually getting to see that, oh no, these guys know that green is the way to go, and they have many of those around. I like that. And then also, in the season that I traveled in, it was towards winter. So as we speak right now, by the time you see this video, it's already winter in there. They are in negatives. That country is so cold. Guys, Russia is cold. But Moscow, because that is where I was, freaking cold. Because I'm told right now, they're in -3, -4. Those are the temperatures. So by the time I went, it was towards the winter season. And guess what? They have a way they change up things for all the different seasons. So there was a particular place that I went to visit, and guess what? They were putting a place for skating. So they were digging up so that they can construct a whole new thing where people will be skating during the winter season. I'm told it's more beautiful during winter. I never wanted to go during summer. I'm not for the sun. So I hope one day I can get to visit Moscow soon so that I can experience the winter. But also, apparently, St. Petersburg is one of the most beautiful places that everyone should visit. I did not get to see it, but trust me, if I ever get the chance to experience it, it will be something that I get to explore. What else can I tell you about Moscow? All around, very nice. I got to visit the Red Square. Whoa! Okay, so if I haven't said this, I'm going to say it now. I'm in the most beautiful place in Russia right now. I have the Red Square building right there. I have the Kremlin right there. I have the historical building in the background right there. And of course, the lighting city. I don't even know what it is, but I think it's a hotel. Guys, I'm telling you, this is the highlight of my tour. Officially, this has been, even when it's raining, even when it's cold, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Very beautiful place. Very beautiful place. You get to see the Kremlin. You get to see St. Basil's chapel right there. You get to see, like, first of all, Russia is so old. It's so ancient. Like the buildings there, everything, they have been able to just take on whatever was from the Soviet times. Meanwhile, everything, they have just maintained it, but most of their buildings are quite old. So it's such ancient but beautiful. I love that. You know, that rustic feel of a town. That is what Moscow is. So on all the things that you will visit, you'll get to see that you enjoy more and more of that. All around, I enjoyed Moscow. I would say that should be something to think about. It's not so far, 14 hours. I'm told US is farther, UK is farther. So if people can actually go to those countries, then I think when it comes to distance, it shouldn't be your deciding factor, like, okay, your discouraging factor. I think you can still visit Moscow. I would really visit Moscow again, and I plan to. I plan to visit Moscow again so that I see. And then, of course, there are different opportunities there, but the most important thing you need in Moscow is to learn the language, because They do not speak English a lot. There are just a few. Probably the students are the ones who speak English, but in most cases, for you to communicate very well, you would actually need to speak their language. All through, I am so grateful to God. I'm so grateful to God for that trip. I'm grateful to the friends that I made there, Wavy, Jam, Patrick, everyone that walked that journey with me. Of course, I met some two professors that were very knowledgeable. So it was fascinating. Hi to Mustafa and everyone that I met on that journey. I met a very young girl, 3 or 2 years old, Gloria. So hi to them as well. Emily, who is Gloria's mom. I loved my trip. I love Europe. And right now, I continue to speak it into existence that I will travel this world. Let me know if there are any questions you have about Moscow. I'm happy to respond. I'm happy to tell you more about my experience. And please put it down as one of the destinations that you ought to visit. For me, I would absolutely go during the winter seasons, but that place is so cold. So the best time to travel, especially if you're going to Moscow and St. Petersburg, I'm told it's towards the end of May. So if it's something that you want to consider, then that could be the season that you plan for. Until next time, my name is Renji Stella. Subscribe, share, like, comment, and make this your home. Mwah.